So today I'm super excited to share this yummy recipe for you. It is one of our family favorites. It's a little bit more involved, so I generally make it for like family gatherings. So let's get started. So we're going to start out making the crust of this dessert. I'm going to use the Betty Crocker Devil's Food. I've also used a milk chocolate cake mix. You can use whatever kind of chocolate cake mix that you want. Just going to dump this in a bowl. I'm going to set that off to the side because we need to cut up our butter. I need 3/4 of a cup. So your butter needs to be cold because we're supposed to cut this into the cake mix. So I'm just going to cut it into small pieces. So you're supposed to cut the butter into the cake mix, but I just have found that I don't have the patience to do that. So I just use my hands and kind of press it all together. And you want to do this until all of your mixture is crumbly. So this is the part of the recipe that I feel like takes the longest and is the most tedious. But now it's all pretty much in the consistency that I want. You can see it kind of sticks together, but it's also very crumbly. So we're ready to move on to the next step. Okay, now we're gonna add in 1 egg that's been lightly beaten. So as I'm editing this, I realized that I forgot to push the record button, so my apologies. But this next step, after you get it all mixed together, is I took my 13 by 9, I use a Pyrex dish, like a glass dish, and I just sprayed it with Pam. You're supposed to grease it, and then I just pressed it into the bottom of that pan, and I baked it for 15 to 18 minutes at 350 degrees. Okay, so while that is baking and cooling, we're going to move on to our whipped topping stage. And I have used Cool Whip for this before, or something from the frozen section, and it does make it easier, but I have to say, I think this tastes better. And so this is just the whipped topping mix that you have to, mix together yourself, and I need 4 cups. So that means I need to make 2 envelopes worth. And I'm gonna make it just, right according to whatever the directions are for the mix. Smells so good. So it says that we need to add, because I'm making 2 of them, I need to add 1 cup of cold milk and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So here's our teaspoon of vanilla. Here's our cup of cold milk. And now I'm just going to mix it all together and then blend it for another couple minutes until it starts peaking. Okay, you can see that it's forming peaks, so it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the refrigerator and keep it cool. So this just came out of the oven. This times really quite perfectly. I just finished up making the whipped topping. And so this is coming to the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the rack to cool because it needs to be completely cool before we can add our next layer. So now is the time that you also want to get out your cream cheese. You want it to set out and come to room temperature so that you can, so that it's ready for when we're ready to mix this together for the next layer. Okay, so we're gonna move on. This cream cheese is not as softened as I would like, but I'm losing natural light here, so I wanna keep working at this. So we're gonna put that in our bowl, and we're gonna mix it on medium speed until fluffy. Now we're going to add in 1 cup of confectioner sugar. From the whipped topping that we made earlier, we're going to add in 1 cup. And now we're just going to fold it in. And I definitely don't think that I do this the right way, but hey, it works. And so here we have it. I think it would have, blended together better if my cream cheese wasn't still kind of cold. But anyways, it's all blended together, and I'm going to put it in an even layer over my crust. I'm going to go ahead and cover this and put it in the refrigerator while we go on to the next step. Okay, now we're going to take 3 cups of milk. And this is a little bit different than what the package says to make it. So 3 cups of milk and 2 packages of instant pudding, chocolate instant pudding. I do wish I had my bigger bowl, but that is being used with the whipped topping. I am not real tidy baker. I'm going to whisk this for 2 minutes. Okay, now I'm gonna let it stand for 5 minutes. So I apologize, I thought that I had hit the record button. I have just added the chocolate pudding on top of our cream cheese layer, and now I'm just going to spread it all out. And now we have one last layer. It's our whipped topping that we made earlier. Just gonna do the same thing, put it all over, spread it all out, and then I am going to put it into the refrigerator overnight. So it's the next day and I've cut a piece of this delicious chocolate dessert. And on the top, I've put some English toffee bits just to add a little crunch to it. So I will put all of the ingredients and the recipe in the description. I hope that you'll give this a try. Thanks for watching. See you next time.